Guest has performed on BET's 106 & Park. He's been in Teen Vogue magazine. He's been on ABC's show Boy Band and also on NBC's show The Voice. He's super talented. Jordan Grizzle. Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. I did so much homework on you that I'm like excited to do this one. You know, I saw that you were doing a lot of covers, which I thought was really cool. And you know, you see a lot of YouTubers doing covers, but you actually have talent. Where did the inspiration for singing start?
Well, I'll say that my inspiration for singing first came from being in the church. I was raised in a very super Christian household. I'm Pentecostal. We used to be in church 24/7. So singing was like the only outlet that I felt like really comfortable in myself doing. And initially, I started on YouTube, unlike a lot of these people today, because I started when I was 12 years old. And so I've amassed a following of 100,000 throughout that time, and I did it before a lot of people did it. And I've been very, very blessed to have been doing that and make that my career, because it started out as a secret. I used to sing covers in my house while my family wasn't home, because we're not supposed to sing worldly music. And so it was a secret, and then I got a call one day from BET to be on 106 & Park, and then my family was like, "What are you doing?" And then they kind of accepted it, I guess.
Okay, so you said Pentecostal home, so they're speaking in tongues,
yeah,
all of that.
Like, this is a big no-no, my tattoos. We've gotten progressive over the years, but like, it very, very strict household.
Okay, so what's the relationship now like with your parents?
Me and my parents were great. I love them. They're very supportive now. It took them a while to understand, because I'm a child and I'm trying to tell them, like, just trust me.
Right.
And it took them a couple years, but they're fully supportive.
Right. So when you got that first call from BET to go to 106 & Park, what was their reaction like?
Well, they didn't actually call me. I got a tweet from one of their, I guess, reps who worked for the show at the time. Right. She was like, she wanted me to be a part of the show, and she thought like I was really talented. So in secrecy, I filled out all the paperwork, and after I sent it back to her, I realized that, well, she told me that I wasn't old enough. I was like a couple weeks shy of being 16, and you had to be at least 16 to participate. So after a few weeks passed, I shared it with my family, and we were like ready to go, and I ended up being on the show. So
who was the host at the time? Because they've had a million hosts on the show.
It was Roxy and Terrence.
Oh, okay. So the legends, Roxy and Terrence. And then from there, I'm sure your audience grew. So what was the next big platform that you got to sing on?
Well, I think that YouTube was a start for a lot of the things that I've done. And from there, if you guys remember the Vine app, I was a really big influencer on the Vine app with I'm not scared of lying to tigers and bears, but I'm scared. I'm not scared to perform at a sold-out affair. I'm scared of loving you. Am I the only one who thinks it's an impossible taste? Why it don't last, is that too much? Why do we love when love seems to hate us? With 18 million loops, 180,000 followers, really big there, and through there, a lot of opportunities came. So I've done a couple different TV things. World Stars had me on their side a couple times.
For fighting?
No, for singing. They just posted me just because. No, it's from a music, thankfully.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Everything just kind of happened as a result of me starting to post those videos. I can't necessarily give you a method to how it happened.
Right.
But just kind of happened. I just started posting.
Right. So the next, like I'm saying, like did ABC's Boy Band come next, or was it Teen Vogue, or what was the order?
Okay, so let's start like this. So BET came first.
Right.
That was cool. I was 16. I lived in New York for like 2 years. Then I ended up being on World Star, and I was talking to some people from LA, but I was visiting Miami, and Khaled ended up seeing me, and he reached out, and he was like, "Are you here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm in town for the weekend." We ended up having a meeting. It went well. But I never allowed opportunity to affect my loyalty, and because I had been speaking to the other people, I couldn't move forward with whatever we talked about. And yeah, so I ended up going to LA for a meeting and signing with this company because I just fell in love with LA. Went there for a weekend with one suitcase, and I ended up moving there. And I was 17. I lived there for a year and a half by myself, and yeah, it was really, really fun. A lot of opportunities happened. I met Suge Knight through there and was working with him and Scott Storch.
That sounds scary. You said Suge Knight.
Yeah,
I watched the Tupac movie, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
See, I mean, Suge is a very interesting person, but to me, he was very, very kind. He was very, very gracious, and I am grateful for the opportunities that he gave me and the lessons that I did learn. I learned how to operate in business and to be very, strong in what I believe in. And so yeah, that happened. And within that time of me being in LA, I got a lot of different opportunities for acting. Couldn't do it because I was still working on my music, being an artist. And offers from TPS, Tyler Perry Studios, and had to not do that. And I was like, okay. Then The Voice wrote me. They're like, we want you to be on our show. And I was like, okay. This is more my game, like I sing. So I ended up doing that, and I ended up leaving. It was a Shakira and Usher season, and I ended up leaving the day before blind auditions due to some, I guess, contract issues because these shows want you to be free. And 3 weeks later, I ended up getting a message after being just depressed. American Idol writes me, and they're like, we want you to come to an executive audition on the Queen Mary. And me and my friend Candace Boyd, who was on the 4, we drove down from LA to Long Beach and stayed in this little rinky hotel for 2 days because I made it, and went through the whole process, made it to Hollywood Week, and sang for Mariah Carey, Keith Urban, and Randy Jackson. And Mariah is amazing. She's the reason I got through. Nicki Minaj wasn't there, but it was a very, very great experience, and I couldn't move forward because they wanted to control, everything in regards to your artistry, and the people I was signed to weren't willing to release me. So after that, I was kind of like depressed for a minute, and I booked a one-way flight back home to Florida and started just vining for fun. And from Vine came just a slew of opportunities, and that's when I found out about the Teen Vogue article. I didn't even know. One of my friends were in the article bragging about it, and I just went to go check the article and see about my friend, who I thought was my friend, and I'm right next to them in the same article, and I'm like, what? So I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm like 19, 20-ish, and that happens, and within that time frame, I was signed to a label, and we were working on pushing my project. So I had to dial back from YouTube and social media stuff because they're like, we want you to separate yourself from a cover artist and become like your actual artist self. So I got it. I understood it. And that was what I started doing. And honestly, I don't know how the opportunities kind of come to me. I just got an email from, I think the companies were related that I worked with in the past, and they just remembered my name. And ABC called me. They reached out. They're like, hey, we want you to be a part of this show. That was the boy band thing. And yeah, it was a cool experience. Very interesting.
Everybody's finding you.
For sure. Like, I can't explain it. And then after I got, I guess, kicked off the show, 4 weeks later, I got another call from a YouTube video I did 4 years ago from a lady from Norway saying she wanted to book me for a private event. And I sailed from Oslo, Norway to Kiel, Germany, singing on a private ship. So YouTube has opened a lot of doors for me. I can't explain it. I don't know. But I keep my email the same so people can always reach me.
That's good. YouTube is creating careers out here.
For sure.
But like I said, when I was doing my research on you, I was looking at the cover videos, and I hadn't seen one posted in a while. So are you completely done with covers?
I wouldn't say I'm completely done with covers, but a lot has happened within, I guess, life and my story that will soon, I guess, come out. But a lot of things, first it was, people I was connected to through business that wanted me to stop. And I understood that. But then I kind of personally went through something where it was just like, I started really young in this industry, so people used to knock you down to build you back up tactic. And I had to finally, being free from everybody, just listen to my own voice and listen to what I want as an artist and listen to what I think is okay. And I had to go through that. And then at the time of me trying to, come back in, I wake up in the ICU, and after having a really bad seizure, and I find out that I have a brain condition that I was born with.
Okay. And then that's something I was looking at as well. If you follow him on Instagram, it's in the story, and it talks about AVM. And could you explain to me what AVM is? Because I know you have a paragraph there on social media, but you would know.
I think people get lost in all the words, but simply an AVM is an arterial venous malformation. So I have a cerebral arterial venous malformation, which means it's in my head. And basically, it's a tangling of the blood vessels, and I was born with this. All my life, I've had really bad headaches, and the seizures started developing way, way later, and that's when I knew that something was wrong, and I ended up having a really bad seizure the second day of 2018, January 2nd, after celebrating a wonderful New Year's. And I woke up in the back of an ambulance. They took me to 2 hospitals. And they told me that I had a brain condition that I was born with called an AVM. And from that moment, just everything kind of changed. I was in the ICU for 3 days. It took a lot to understand it and rationalize what I've just been told, because I lived a certain way. I lived with such a freeness, and you kind of forget that life is so uncertain. And so that caused me to, just dial back and focus on myself and my health, because I cannot be a great artist if I can't give my full self. And I took this time to focus on, making sure that my health was in order and is in order. So, that's AVM. I'm waiting on my last and final surgery where they drill into my brain and take out the mass. So I'm looking forward to that and getting back to everything.
So when they do that, they're going to have to cut the hair off.
Well, it's localized. They know exactly where it is. So I'm hoping that they maybe just cut a little part and then drill where they need to go. But it is what it is.
I'm glad to see you positive about it, because
Absolutely. Life is about how you deal with things. You can have a negative outlook on things, and I've done that. I felt sorry for myself. I was frustrated, used to get mad, like, why me, but why not me? We each are living the same journey a different way. And it's our responsibilities to take the adversities that we're handed and make the best out of them.
Absolutely. See, this is why he's got thousands of followers, because this is inspirational as well. I'm inspired. So before we go, do you have anything that we should be looking out for? Did somebody else call you or find you that we should be on the lookout for?
I don't even... Well, I will say that I will be dropping a docuseries very, very soon. And it's basically just a moment in time of my 2 years, I guess, of being gone from the spotlight of everything. I kind of left at the height of everything, working with everyone, doing everything, and everybody kind of sees me out. If they see me in the stores, if they see me on the road, like, what's up? What's going on? Where's the videos? Where's the music? And it kind of gets repetitive telling the same story. So I came up with this idea of, putting together a docuseries. And, I had to free myself from everybody within the last year of my life. And, finally free from everything, I want to tell my story my way and give people insight and be very candid and be very honest about just, this game. People see the follower counts and they think that your life is perfect. And they don't know what it takes to make you perceive our life is perfect. So I just want to, give insight on life, because like I said, we all live in the same journey a different way.
Absolutely. So could you tell everybody at home what your social media handles are?
Hey, I'm Jordan Grizzle. You can find me everywhere. What's my Instagram? My Instagram is IamGrizzy, IamGrizzy. Jordan Grizzle on Twitter, YouTube. Just search my name. I'm everywhere. So follow me. Trust me, y'all see me soon.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Grizzle.